Hai korang, selamat petang. Jom kita sambung Kita sambung uh, slide 28 dan 29, which is Open Skies Agreement. Okay, what is Open Sky Agreement? It's international air transport policy that allows airlines from different countries to operate freely across each other's airspace and airport with fewer government restrictions. Okay, why? First, because we want to promote competition among the airlines, and then we want to increase connectivity and lower airfares for passengers. And then we want to encourage tourism and trade between the countries, and we also want to improve efficiency and expand the market access for the air carrier. So usually what is the features? Okay, what is the features of this agreement? Number one is no limits of routes. No limits on routes means that any airlines can fly between any cities in the partner countries, mean the countries that involved in this agreement. And then there is no restrictions on frequency or capacity. Okay, how many time trip, okay, and then how big the aircraft is up to you lah. Right. Freedom to set the fares means the airlines can set the ticket price based on the market demand. Okay, you don't need to say between the Europe and the US must be this price, this price. No, it's always up to the airline. And then code sharing, airlines can share flight codes to expand the network reach. Okay, and the cargo airlines can operate freely, sometimes even between the third country. Example, okay, the US and Europe Open Skies Agreement where allow airlines from the US and Europe Union countries to fly freely between any points in the both region. We also have another one which is Asian Open Skies, also called the Asian Single Aviation Market, where we allow airlines within Southeast Asia to operate more freely among the members countries. Southeast Asia. What is South Asia? What is South Asia, everybody? Is it Malaysia, South Asia? The answer is yes. Okay, the answer is yes. But we our agreement is not really fully net not yet have a full regional open skies agreement lah. We call it semi-open. Okay, semi-open, right? Okay, what is fuel hedging? What is fuel hedging, everybody? Fuel hedging is a financial strategy used by the airlines, okay, to protect themselves from sudden increase in fuel prices. Okay, so there is some agreement or financial contract that lock the price of fuel for the future dates, so that even if market prices rise, the airlines pay a stable, lower cost. Okay, so we know that fuel is one of the important costs to the airline. So it offers like almost 40% of the total operating cost lah. So when there is fluctuate in the fuel price, it will this fuel hedging agreement will help to stabilize the cost and plan the budget accurately and protect profits lah when the oil price rise. Okay, so common fuel hedging method that we have is a forward contract where the airline agrees today to buy fuel at a fixed price in the future. And then we have futures contract similar to forward but trade on and exchange. Okay, got trade on and exchange. We have options contract. Airline buys the right but not the obligation to purchase fuel at the set price. Okay, we given flexibility lah. And swaps. Okay, agreement to exchange variables fuel prices for fixed price over a period. Agreement to exchange variable fuel price for fixed price over a period. Okay, so I give you example lah. Let's say jet fuel today cost 100 USD for 1 barrel. So an airline may sign 6 month forward contract at that price. So if the market price later rise up, let's say it become USD $120, the airline will save like $20 per barrel. Okay. Uh, but if the price of the um, oil reduce, let's say become USD 60, the airline still need to pay the same price, which is the 100 USD per barrel. Okay. So of course lah, fuel hedging also got the positive and negative advantages. We can do predictable fuel cost, which usually increase lah. Just have to go down. Okay. And then protection from price spike means really go up very high, and then easier the financial planning lah. When although it's you lost a little bit, but you can have a good financial planning, and then you can improve the competitiveness because of you have a good financial planning. Okay. Small disadvantages is a possible loss if the fuel price drop. Complex financial management requires accurate forecasting, and not all airlines have expertise or resources to manage hedging. Alright. Okay, let's go to the next slide. This is the Chicago Convention in 1944. Okay, Chicago Convention. Okay, the full name is Convention on International Civil Aviation. Okay, Convention on International Civil Aviation, which established on 1944, which focus on the air travel. Okay, air travel. What is this? It is a foundational treaty that established the rule of international air travel and create the International Civil Aviation Organization (ICAO). International Civil Aviation Organization. Okay, so we have 190. By 2025, it's not 191 anymore. It's just 190 countries. 190 countries. Okay. Alright. So now the organization that famous is ICAO lah, which is International Civil Aviation Organization. Okay. International Civil Aviation Organization. Okay, so what is the objective of this agreement? We want to ensure the safe and orderly growth of international air transport, and then we want to promote peaceful use of airspace, and then we want to encourage uniform standards for aircraft, airport, and crew licensings, facilitate international air navigation, and support the development of international civil aviation economically and efficiently. Okay, there is about like 43 article, okay, but we go to the first 9 only, okay, which is number 1, right to overfly a foreign country without landing, a right to refill or carry out maintenance in a foreign country, right to fly from one own countries to another, right to fly from a foreign country to one owns, right to fly between the two foreign countries during flights which begin or end in one's own, right to fly from one foreign country to another one while stopping in one's own country, Right to fly between two foreign countries while not offering flight to one's own country. Right to fly between two or more airports in the foreign country while continuing service to one's own country. Right to fly inside a foreign country without continuing service to one's own country. Let's look at the Article 43. Establishment of ICAO. Create the ICAO as a specialized UN agency. Okay, specialized UN agency. Okay. They also work for the standard for the safety licensing, crew, pilot, and so on. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, article 1. Okay, article 1 said that every country has complete control over its airspace. Okay, every country has complete control over its airspace. Okay, article 2. Article 2 said what? For the purpose of this convention, the territory of a state shall be deemed to be the land area and territorial water adjacent thereto under the suzerainty, protection or mandate of such state. Article 3. Civil and state aircraft. This convention shall be applicable only to civil aircraft and shall not be applicable for state aircraft. Aircraft used in military, customs, and police services shall be deemed to be state aircraft. No state aircraft of a contracting service shall fly over the territory of another state or land, therefore without authorization by special agreement or otherwise, and in accordance with the term thereof. The contracting state undertake when issuing regulation for the state aircraft that they will have due regard for the safety of navigation of civil aircraft. Okay. So that's article 3. Got many more article. Article 6, article 16. Okay. Article 6. Schedules air services. No scheduled international air service may be operated over or into the territory of a contracting state except with the special permission or other authorization of the state. Article 16. The authorities of each state shall have the right to search the aircraft of other state or landing or departure without unreasonable delay. Article 32. The pilot and crew of every aircraft engaged in international aviation must have certificates of competency and license issued or validated by the state in which the aircraft is registered. Article 33. Recognition of certificates and license. Certificates of airworthiness, certificates of competency and license issued or validated by the state in which the aircraft is registered shall be recognized as valid by other states. The requirement for issues of the certificate or airworthiness certificates of competency or license must be equal to or above the minimum standard established by the convention. Okay, so that's about Chicago Convention, International Civil Aviation Organization. Okay, so as a conclusion, the Chicago Convention is like the constitution of international aviation, where ensure the plane can fly safely, fairly, and legally between countries under common global rules. Okay, so okay, almost every country in the world use the Chicago Convention rules lah. Okay, uh, including our country, Malaysia. Okay, when they say almost, so must be got country that that don't go with the contract lah. Okay. So, among country that use the Chichago rules, Malaysia, Singapore, India, Thailand, Indonesia, Japan, China, UK, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, United States, okay, which is the host of the country in the 1944 conventions, and then Canada, Brazil, and Mexico. We also have South Africa, Kenya, Egypt, and Nigeria, and then Australia and New Zealand, and the Middle East is Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and also Qatar. Okay, and Qatar.